Today I would like to discuss my favorite kind of pupper.
Well, we converted you. Well, I guess we both converted because, I had a different favorite pupper until we got our new puppers.
I mean, I knew that I actually wanted one like Nyx. I thought Roxy was going to be a Pomsky.
It's Huskies.
But yeah, it's Huskies. And now that I, have experienced both, Pomskys are kind of a lot. When you get the half Pomeranian, it's like, that's a little much.
There are a lot of Huskies who are a lot too. Roxy's
Yeah.
super chill.
Yeah. And they're
Across
both such
spectrums.
good girls. And
They're
they love
both
us so much.
But would you recommend Huskies to
No.
all dog owners?
No, I would not. You have to know what you're getting into. And I get so sad on the internet because people will specifically adopt a Husky and then go, oh wait, this is too much work, and just abandon them.
Huskies need a lot of exercise. I go hiking with our girls 2-3 times a week.
Yeah. They need a lot of exercise, they need a lot of attention. They will escape if they want to. People talk about, like, oh, well, they always want to escape. They will instantly escape. Arctic girls don't want to go anywhere.
Roxy did learn to open the gate, but she
She
just
did.
sat in the front lawn saying hi to people as
Right.
they walk by.
She wanted to prove that she could, but she didn't actually want to leave.
Yes.
And I think part of that is that we don't treat our dogs... We both grew up with dogs and cats and all kinds of animals. Well, I grew up with all kinds of animals. But we don't necessarily treat them and train them the way we would a normal dog.
I mean, they're kind of our little people.
Yeah, the joke is dog hardware, right?
Cat software, dog hardware.
Yeah, and that's so true. And also, I think it's a matter of having your dog respect you without being afraid of you, letting them know that you're part of the pack.
Some dogs are bred to just take commands, and Huskies are not that. Huskies need to know why.
Yeah, very much so. They need to also feel respected and loved and safe. And then it's much more likely that they will do as you ask them to do.
They have such personalities.
Yes. I remember when we first got Roxy and was talking to another Husky owner, and I had said, my mother-in-law said that I should go for obedience training for Roxy, and she just laughed at me. Like, no, you have a Husky. Obedience training isn't going to do anything other than frustrate everyone involved.
This was in Colorado, and this was at the off-leash dog park, and while you were having that conversation, I was desperately asking Roxy not to go too far up or down the river.
Yeah. She wanted to hang out with the other Husky.
She wanted to explore it.
Just kind of following him around.
Considering she was still very much a puppy at that point, she did very well.
Oh, yeah. Extremely well.
Because she didn't go too far. She was always ahead of us, but she didn't go too far. We've done other off-leash stuff since then, always in a controlled environment, and she keeps within visual range.
Yeah. Like, Nyx, as much as I find her harder to control on leash, like, I can walk Roxy, I cannot walk Nyx. Nyx will look back to check on us, to make sure we're looking at her. And I think that's important, too.
Nyx doesn't have impulse control.
No.
So if she sees something she wants, she launches full speed at it. But then as soon as she collects herself, she goes, oh, where's mom and dad?
Right. Right. Well, she also has no sense of danger
No.
at all.
No, because when she's launching herself at stuff, she's not taking into account if there's, like, a car coming.
Yeah.
Or...
Does not care.
Yeah.
Does not care.
We're vastly more stressed by Nyx's putting herself in danger than Nyx's.
Yeah. Like, Roxy came with anxiety just because of where she came from. Nyx came from a lovely environment, and that's wonderful, but as a result, she has no fear. So, pros and cons. Yeah, no, if you want to have any kind of pet, doesn't have to be a dog, do research first, know what you're getting into, make sure that it's a good fit for you and your lifestyle.
Dogs are very different, so...
Yeah.
Pick a dog that's good for your lifestyle. And try, I would say don't get a pure breed. That was one of our things.
Mixes.
Is that we got Husky mixes because, it's worse with some breeds, pugs' eyes fall out and stuff like that. They can't catch their breath. But all breeds, if they're too purebred, will start having problems. So if you want a healthy dog, do your research, but mixes are good.
Also, I want to point out, some of the Huskies we see that are just abandoned, the logic behind it is, oh, well, we live in a hot environment, and so we obviously shouldn't have had a Husky. That doesn't actually work. The whole double coat thing works in both directions. It's just insulated.
There's a lot of common dog things that aren't true for Huskies and their ilk. Like if you want a dog you bring to the groomer, do not get a Husky. You're not supposed to cut their fur. Their fur will fall out on its own in excess. Trust me.
Yeah.
But you don't cut it because that is how they maintain their body heat.
Right. Again, in both directions. So they'll be happy buried under the snow. Absolutely. They'll also be happy sitting in the sun.
When it's 104 degrees out, Roxy will go lay in the sun.
Yeah, I hate it. I panic. I think she's gonna die. She's happy as hell.
We have shade available. We have water available. She can come back in whenever she wants into the air conditioning, and she will lay out there for an hour and a half in the baking sun, and she's unbothered by it.
The only weather she doesn't like is rain.
She does not like rain. Rain makes her sad.
She loves puddles.
Her as a puppy loved puddles more.
Yeah. But she doesn't like rain. She'll just mope. She'll just look outside while it's raining and just be sad. She wants you to watch her be sad.
She will come get me and bring me to the open back door so I can watch her be sad at the rain.
It's dramatic. If you like drama, Huskies are for you.
Well, actually, also, Roxy's a very smart dog, so if she needs something, she comes up to me and she just sits and looks at me. And then I have to stand up and go, what do you want? And follow her.
Yeah, and she'll lead you.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, this food dish is empty. Sometimes it's like, oh, I would like more water. Sometimes it's I need to go outside. And sometimes it's just, I'm going to lay here and you can pet my belly.
Roxy will scratch at the door when she wants to get out. Nix will sometimes just stare at me until I figure that one out. But occasionally, Nix won't tell me when she needs to go to the bathroom. Roxy will come to me and be like, hey, let us outside. And then Nix obviously had to go.
Because Nix will just quietly stand by the back door. And Roxy has to be like, hey, you know what she's doing back there.
Well, sometimes Nix isn't even by the back door. Sometimes they're upstairs, and Roxy is like, hey, my little sister has to go out.
Oh, okay.
That has happened, too, and it's always a bizarre... I also like that if I need them to both come inside, Nix won't always pay attention to me, but if I ask Roxy to get her sister, she does her little whoof noise, and then Nix will come in.
Roxy's very much an older sister. Like, if Nix is being too rambunctious, Roxy will, like, bap her on the head.
Yeah. It's very cute. And they sleep next to each other, and it's adorable, and I love them very much.
We'll say, also, my 2 Huskies is easier than 1 Husky.
Yes.
Because with 1 Husky, you are their sole source of entertainment. If they are bored, you are doing something with them. It doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m. It doesn't matter if you're pooping. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you're working from home.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're working from home. But 2 Huskies, then they can entertain each other sometimes. Yeah. And you can insert yourself when you have the capability and the energy.
That's why we got our dog a dog.
Well, all that, and she cried every time we went home from the dog park.
She needed a friend.
She'd be exhausted at the dog park to the point that she's just laying down, like, not moving anymore. But when we left, she'd just, like, cry the whole way home.
Yeah. So we got our dog a dog.
Yeah.
Technically next is Roxy dog.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think our dogs are perfect babies.
Well, it's a shared thing.
Yeah, even your grandmother, who historically is terrified of dogs, asks to see our dogs.
Yes. Which causes some jealousy issues with other dog owners in the family.
Very funny.
I don't know, I can say I don't take a little sick pride in it. I'm not going to say that.
Our babies. I love when people go up to Nix and they're like, oh, this is my dream dog. A couple of my friends have done this. My dream dog, as she's screaming in their faces. And it's like, really? You sure? You sure you want this one?
Nix has 1 volume and its loudest bark.
Ear piercing. It almost, it hurts. It's a horrible, horrible sound. And it's the only sound she makes. And sometimes she'll actually have a growl, too. It's just angry, loud sounds, but she's so happy and her tail is wagging.
She's just this cute, sweet thing who just does not know anything but yelling.
She gets excited and just screams.
Yeah, that's that lack of impulse control. She doesn't moderate. But yeah, love them both very much. We love. Now, I think at this point we can't have any other dog than a Husky mix.
No, if nothing else, because so long as we have one, it's mean to do to a different kind of dog to bring them into a household that has Huskies.
A dog with less patience. A chiller, like, I just want to lay around the house dog, not for Huskies.
Yeah, no, I do think Huskies are great. I don't recommend them automatically to every human being.
No.
You gotta be sure.
Love ours. Probably won't get a different breed, but like, if people are like, oh, I want a Husky, I grab them by both shoulders and go, do you know what you're getting into? Because they have to know. Like, if
They have to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who get them because they're pretty, and then they just don't keep up the active lifestyle. And they can be, if you're not like entertaining them, they can get frustrated. They can get destructive.
Sure.
And those dogs, like, if you don't have the patience for dogs, and like, figuring out a way to coexist properly, those dogs just go to a shelter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it breaks my heart every time I see it on the posts, like, this dog at a shelter, this dog at a shelter. And if I had infinite land and money, I would save all the dogs.
Yeah, and if something isn't working in terms of a behavioral change you're trying to make, try something else. Don't just keep trying the same thing over and over and it's not doing it, and then you go, oh, so the dog's broken. Like, don't do that. Try something else.
The number of people who think that, like, sit is innate in dogs, that you don't have to train dogs to sit.
Yeah.
Like, like, they have to learn to sit on command. They don't just know. Because it's like a month-old puppy, and you're saying sit, and you're not, like, offering a treat. There's no hand gesture. There's no, like, repetition. And the dog's just happy to be there at that point. They don't know what you want.
Hand gestures are also really helpful. A lot of dogs will know the hand gesture before the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And we taught them specifically with hands up. That means sit, because that's the thing people do when they're afraid of dogs, is they put their hands up. It's that stop motion.
Mm-hmm.
And so then our dogs see that and they go, oh, and they sit. It's nice and easy. And it means that strangers can do that thing and make our dogs sit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, is that it?
I guess. What's the end point? Maybe get a Husky?
If you're really sure, and you know, I mean, it's like adopting a child. Because you're adopting a 3-year-old child that will never get older and will always be a 3-year-old human child trapped in a fursuit.
You're getting a furry toddler. A furry eternal toddler.
So, yeah, be aware of that. That's all. Rock on.
Rock on.